Okay, one more special evening with another American Song Contest participant, and actually, Jake O.
And I'm happy that I still get to play music. I'm happy that I literally didn't get eliminated in the literal sense. But you know, to answer your question in a serious manner, I think every contestant wants to win. I don't think they go into a competition thinking they want to lose. So I mean, I feel like I did what I did to the best of my abilities, and since things appear to be a little bit more solidified and over for the competition, I'm just thinking about what's the next step to do. American Song Contest was much different from the normal music competitions that we're used to seeing, like X Factor, The Voice, American Idol. And a lot of those, to be honest, didn't appeal to me as a musician and as a songwriter and original performer. I felt like the American Song Contest was somewhat tailored for me as an artist.
Do you think that the recipe of having only original songs and a total equality between all participants might be the reason to attract you in this project?
Yeah. If I'm answering your question correctly, yeah, the original aspect is definitely what is why I wanted to participate in it. And well, I actually I lived in the UK for some time. I lived there. I believe it was from 2001 to 2005. So the time being there in the UK, I heard about Eurovision Song Contest. Now, I couldn't tell you all the contestants around that time, but yeah, I had some knowledge of it.
I guess you got the feeling that the country was ending in the last places for years now. I'm sure you heard of that.
True that. I love the humble aspect. Yep, where Great Britain, takes its place in Eurovision Song Contest.
And how was the selection process? How they decided this song?
So for Feel Your Love, the song that I performed, I felt like for me, I wanted to use that song because the lyrics created this theatrical imagery, which is always good if you're a dancer because you could do some interpretive dancing with it. But furthermore, too, I felt like the song really had this simplicity, but it also had instrumentation that was complex. So I felt like it was quite the middle ground, and it made sense for me. And that's why I selected that one, because it was rock. It had a lot of energy to it too. I'm representing the state of Wisconsin, and the state of Wisconsin is eclectic and it's weird. Those are some of the big things why I love Wisconsin. And the quintessential and the stereotypical idea of Wisconsin tends to lean towards that it's the Dairyland state. It's known for its cheese, but in a deeper aspect of what Wisconsin means to me, it means like innovation and that forwardness. A lot of innovators have came from Wisconsin, and there's many facets of what I'm talking about as far as innovators are concerned, from Les Paul making one of the most well-known guitars, to Georgia O'Keeffe being a great feminist painter. You have Frank Lloyd Wright, who developed some of the most iconic architecture in the world. You have Harry Houdini, the great the magician. He actually came from there as well. just Aldo Leopold, a great conservationist.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of famous people who've came from Wisconsin, and I wanted to take on that same approach, and that's why I'm honored to bring NUVO-RETRO to the to the national stage. So
you say in your biography that you started dealing with music in the isolated hills of Wisconsin, but somehow I feel that this word means that you were somehow isolated from people and you found some refuge in music. What is music meaning for you?
Music for me started off as a hobby, not so much as a form of escape, but something that caught my interest and was very a fun, time-consuming thing to do. And then eventually it became a career that I could see myself pursuing. And music is ultimately, it's just what I live and breathe now. And it's like when I just got home last night, late at night, and one of the first things I did when I got home was pick up my guitar. And what I'm trying to say is that music, it runs through me, and like I need people. I love having human interaction, because that's what makes the music come alive. But going back to what you're saying about the isolation and this hill, it kind of allows me to be introspective and to look inside of myself, to where that music is running, and I can pull out what I'm feeling from around me.
It's your second nature.
Yeah, and channel it in. Yes, and I do get a lot of inspiration from the nature that surrounds me, from the sounds to the noises. I really utilize everything that I hear. So I'm quite observant like that as a musician. So it's yeah, it does help to be isolated. Lyrically, it first started out as I was writing about a candle. And it's kind of weird, but I'm writing about an inanimate object, and when I was talking to you about the theatrical imagery of the song, a lot of it, what led me to it being so imaginative with the lyrics in a simplistic way, was because I wanted to embellish on the 5 basic human senses. Okay. So I was smelling the candle. I was not necessarily tasting and feeling and all that stuff, but it kind of stemmed and derived from the smell of the candle, the strawberry plum of the candle. But eventually, the more I performed the song and the more that I needed to feel the song, I started to attach it to my fiance. And it because that candle pretty much it's like it's our candle. My fiance and me, that's our, when we smell that, that's like, we know we kind of take ownership of that scent. So short answer, it was written about a candle, but is now about my fiance. I'm a child and a human of the world. I've traveled all around the world, and I hope people don't think that I'm just a Wisconsinite and I'm just from America, because like I said, I lived in the UK for some time. My mother's from the Philippines. I've traveled over Europe and Asia, and I really do take a lot of the European views into consideration and to heart too, very much so. If honestly, I would say that it's an American Song Contest, but it really means a lot to hear, from the European side of things. And going into this competition, I actually wanted to be. I took a lot of the Eurovision Song Contest approach and restrictions onto myself, because I didn't want it to be too overly exuberant in the performance, and I wanted it to be simplistic enough and for me to carry a lot of the weight, because I didn't want to be putting the weight onto to the production team, because I wanted my artistry to shine. I didn't want like a bunch of stage props to shine through. You kind of know what I mean? I feel like the only thing where I kind of failed on that is that I utilized 6 dancers. So I was one above, I was one number above the maximum amount of people on stage, but I really tried to hold myself to the Eurovision Song Contest standards. And that's why I was quite minimalist, if you could say that, minimalist in my approach to the performance. And I think hearing from a lot of the European viewers that, that's why they feel it took on the Eurovision Song Contest vibe as well. And that makes me so happy to hear that too. It really does, because I feel like I'm strictly about the music, however I look, how other people look, it's really just, it's sprinkles and cherry on top. The music is fundamentally what it's about, because it is the song contest. So, I could be off to the side, but I'm glad people are acknowledging the music.
Next trip if you ever visit Greece, we will have great nights with good wine and amazing chats. I'm sure of that.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to go to Greece and Europe. Actually, this watch that I'm wearing is actually from Greece. So,
where did you buy it from?
What's that?
From which city did you buy it?
Cyprus.
Okay. Typically, we're 2 different countries, but it.
Oh, I was. Apologies for my ignorance on that. It was on Etsy. It was labeled Cyprus, Greece.
We give to Cyprus and Greece, and Cyprus to Greece 12 points every year in Eurovision. So don't worry, we're the same.
That's great. Yeah.
Yes, we're the joke of Eurovision, actually, when the voting begins, because we know that Greece will give 12 points to Cyprus and Cyprus will give 12 points to Greece, because typically we're 2 different countries, but practically we're one, because we're interacting so much as if we are one country.
I don't know why I'm in the US, man. I love that. I love Eurovision Song Contest just because everybody's so like, it's just fun. It sounds fun.
Yes, imagine, for example, South Dakota giving the North Dakota 12 points.
That's a really good. Yeah,
that's how it's gonna work. Yes.
Time, and I appreciate this. Anytime that I get to talk about music with people, and anytime that people are interested in the music that I make, it's always a pleasure. So I just want to extend that to you. So thank you
Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.